Here's the update. Last Monday, March 17th, we took the car to the track. As you saw by the videos, the short videos, the car did okay. I didn't do very well. I spun out 4 times, maybe 3 because the tires were cold, 1 because I looked down to try to turn off the fan and the turbo water pump right as I was going into turn 3. That didn't work out so well for me. But all in all, it was an amazing day. The Golf ran unbelievably well. Oil remained good the whole day thanks to the air oil separator. Coolant temps were good. Air intake temps were great. Granted, it was cool out, so I think when it gets a little hotter, we'll have to keep an eye on that to make sure that's staying good. I couldn't be happier. I have a long list of stuff to do, but one of the things I'm going to do today is upload or load into the Megasquirt a slightly adjusted tune based on what we saw in the file, the log files, and then just sort of start test fitting like the dash I got the other day, start figuring out the wing. We need some downforce, we need to add some weight in the back. It's hard to get any heat in those rear tires. Hopefully some weight and some downforce will help on that. Brennan said it seemed pretty fast out there when he was chasing me down. My confidence level is still very low in terms of what I think, even when the tires are hot, what it's capable of doing cornering wise. But yeah, I'm gonna turn it on, upload the tune, and then we'll see where we're at in a few minutes. Once it's warmed up, I'll go take it out for a spin. I gotta move this truck. Here's a cold start. Gotta find an idle air control valve. Crack the throttle a little bit, get some heat into the sucker. I made a little test run with the Golf, got the hood back on, and what we have here is an old dashboard that I'm going to try to retrofit into the car. I've got a couple of side mirrors, passenger side door handle, a wing profile. Here's the profile. It's going to be good. Yeah, so I got these little pieces to put on. I think I have most of the hardware, and look who showed up. So that's where we're at. Good test run, sent Vedran the data. Now we're just gonna have to wait and see what he says. There she is, Golf post track day. Oh, those weights? Is that what you're asking? We're gonna put those in there. The car, which weighs 2,050 pounds, is a little light in the back end, which makes for some very interesting driving. Basically, it's like you have front wheel traction, and then your back wheels are kind of going that way, this way, that way, this way, while the front's going this way, that way, this way. Anyway, we're gonna put some weight in the back end of the car. We're gonna put this dashboard inside the car. Hopefully we get to that today. What about that adjustable steering column in the parts car? That's got to go there. We got a few things to do today, but unfortunately, the economy's not very good right now. We've decided to pass on Pittsburgh. I mean, we're literally 2 weeks out, and we just needed to decide. We had a conversation, me, Derek, and Mark, and we basically can't do it. So it's a huge bummer. The one thing it does is it gives them more time to get their asses down here to help a little bit. And we will be going to Jersey, beginning of June, Jersey. We're going. I'll drive the car by myself if I have to. I'll Ironman that thing. But yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm going to try and just get a bunch of stuff done in the next, I guess, couple months. And we'll see if we can't make this car even better. This is the perfect spot to mount some weight for the back of the car. However, underneath this wheel well is a gas tank. So it's a good thing I didn't just drill right through that, because that would have been a terrible thing. So now I think we have to weld right onto that, and might have to wait for Brendan to help suss this out. This is all the weight. This is 150 pounds. But what we're going to do is leave these two in there and start off 3 off to the right. And if I show you the scale picture, on the scale picture you can see I'm 75 pounds light on the right side. Right now we increased the spring pressure to help that a little bit on the right side, but that's putting pressure on the up front left tower and spring and all that. So what we're going to do is hopefully this 75 pounds over to the right will offset this as much as we can, and then that'll do that. And then what we'll do is with like a 3-inch piece of metal, we'll come across the top. There'll be a center post going through here, and it's like basically a strap that'll go across, get bolted in. We could do riv nuts. That strap goes across, holds these two down, and then on top of the strap there'll be a post coming up, and we'll be able to tie that in with those. So that's the plan for this, but I'm on to the steering column now. I'm going to go ahead and look into pulling the steering column off of the parts car, which is adjustable, see if I can mount it on this. So I've taken a couple measurements, checked out what bolts I need, and basically there's 2 up here that mount, and then there's 1 up under there, and then just that clamp bolt, which is I think a 213s for the U-joint lock there. So it should come out pretty easily, minus all this crap I have attached to it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try and do that. All right, here it is. Some stuff's missing. I got the floor. I still gotta pull that chunk out there, but very easy access to all this stuff, which, yes, it's a little on the rusty side. Might need to fix the bearing. It should be a pretty easy fix. Should just bolt out. So I'm gonna see how this works and see if I can't get this undone. There's a Mark II adjustable steering column. Let's see if we can put that in my car. Okay, well, I did something today. I don't know if you can tell. There's no dash instrument cluster. The tachometer's down there. But if you guys look closely, I have an adjustable steering column. I mean, it's not much, but it's something. Probably be a little better position. Lock that up, and that's pretty good. So that's what I did today. Next time out, we're gonna try to fit the dash a little bit, figure out a plate system for these weights for the back, and that's where we're at. A couple of things that I wasn't gonna do, but I'm doing it anyway. Again, we're not going to Pittsburgh. Huge bummer. That's how it goes. It's hard to film and try to get this stuff done. Mike helped me take apart the steering column because that was a mess. Then Brendan helped me take off the plate, the bracket. Nothing's easy. It's unbelievable. But everything fit, and we have a new seating position, new steering position. So that's it. I'm gonna go park this thing and call it for today. That's it. I'm back with the Golf. A few things to do. I'm working on placement for an oil cooler. I think I figured it out. I have a little piece of metal that I'm placing where an old cabin air filter, I think, might have gone. Working on windshield wiper wiring. I gotta find a relay and maybe some dashboard fitment before I leave at 4 o'clock. So here's what we're doing so far. So the oil cooler is right here. And the place that I think it's gonna go, I was thinking here, but I really want to put a headlight there. I was gonna maybe kind of fit it here like this, but that's not really great. There's not a ton of airflow. I was gonna try and put it something like this behind the grill, but that's not gonna fit. Here there's no room because the radiator's on an angle and I have the after-run turbo water pump there. So not a ton of room left after all this turbo crap. So what I thought might be a better situation was right here. So it gets quite a bit of airflow. The oil lines will go straight this way and into there where the oil sandwich plate is. And I just got to build a couple brackets. The other thing I've done so far is there used to be like, I guess it was where the cabin got their air and there was an air filter box kind of thing there. And you know, all this is kind of sealed up more or less before I cut away all this stuff to make room for all that stuff. So what I did was cut out a little piece of aluminum, and I'm gonna basically glue that in place there, and that should seal that off, because directly under this, right behind that metal, is the Mega Squirt, and we definitely don't want any water getting onto that. Could have been why last year Pittsburgh it fried on us. So gonna put that there. We'll glue that in place. Then I've got the dashboard, which I'm getting ready to start trying to fit it. I moved the tachometer out of the way. I took the instrument cluster, unplugged that, and moved it, because it may fit back into the dashboard, which would be cool. We'll see if we can, do as minimal cutting to the dashboard as possible. We may have to move the fire pole, and we definitely have to move the plate, this plate. The dashboard's gonna take some finessing, but the wiring I think is all good. Everything was great at the track day. One of the things I saw today, which I'm a little unnerved by, is, let's see if I can show you. You see that little fray right there? This is supposed to be a 6-rib micro V-belt. Right now, we've got 4 V's. It's more like a micro 6. It's gone from a 6 to a 4. So I'm not really sure why this belt shredded, but it's probably the same reason why the belt shredded from the previous belt, which caused the timing belt to snap. So we want to address this, and may have to shim the alternator over, because what I think is going on is the alternator needs to move that way so that it doesn't, like right now it's on the edge here, and there's 2 ribs remaining. Can't see that. There's 2 ribs here, but down there on the crank pulley, the V-belt, this guy is right in the middle. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I don't think this feels too loose. It's only like a 45-degree pull. But Brandon was talking about looking for a tensioner, so that's maybe what I need to do, is put a tensioner like right here or something so it doesn't flop around. So that's what I'm up to today. Let's see if we can get some stuff done. So just a quick test fit. These old speaker holes I'm gonna have to cut here and then go across this way, because the roll bar is basically right here. Same thing on this side. I'm gonna basically cut on this edge right there and then along that bracket there. I basically have the gist of the wiring down. The switch is supposed to have a parking spot that when you wire it up, it lands in a spot. But the wiring diagram I'm following, which was from a YouTube guy, doesn't seem to work with the Volkswagen motor. So I have to play around with it. There's 2 wires that I'm switching that don't seem to have any effect. I have a high-speed wire, a low-speed wire, a ground, and power, which is here. It doesn't seem to matter if I switch what I think could be the parking wire or the switch wire. Either one turns it on to slow and then fast. I mean, it's not really fast, but it's faster than the slow position. But I got that sort of taken care of. At least we have wipers. That post for the wiper seems to be smaller than the other wiper blade that I have. So I gotta see if I could find a different wiper blade, or maybe a different post or a bushing I could make for that. I don't know. I gotta figure that out. Plug this guy up. So that's sealed up now. So I'm gonna keep playing with the dashboard and see if I can't get that sort of more sorted. Getting closer. So I think we got to dig in more on those sides. Yeah, I'm gonna want access to that relay box. This bottom part's gonna have to come off. Maybe I can cut it right under the red. I just cut this piece off, which is right here. Sort of the lower glove box support. Cut that off, hoping to be able to make it fit now. So let's see what happens. So basically trying to keep as much of the dashboard as I can. And that's better. So now, just gotta cut. I think what I'll do is measure this distance here and then cut into the speaker slash vent holes over there. And I'll cut on the edge for now. And it looks like I'll be able to get pretty close. The other thing I'll have to do is relocate a couple things, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. Gotta figure out where the tachometer is gonna go. Maybe I can mount it like right there or something. It's about 3.5 inches, which basically goes to the end there. Oh, this whole bottom part I gotta take out. Shoot. Let's see how this one did. My adjustable steering column lever is hitting a piece of that. I think we're pretty close. Looks like my old dash, but I think, I don't know if it'll fit in this. All right, couple more things, and I think we have ourselves a winner. I'm trying to think what dashboard went in there. Maybe this mounts from behind. All right, one more little piece of, gonna cut the inside of that out, and then I think it's pretty good. Then we would have to build like some lower supports, maybe one on this side, probably 3, 2 on that side, maybe 1 over here, maybe a post. All right, let me go cut that. This might be the final fitment. Goes right in the holes. That's pretty cool. Yes? No? I think so. Almost there. Now I just gotta wire everything. Oh boy. That is the timing belt. I got the accessory belt on there, the alternator belt. That's on there. This is on. Tension seems to be good. Nothing too crazy. I rotated the engine 3 times, so that should be good. Need to take this off because you don't want that flying around. The next thing I have to do, that was like the fastest timing belt ever for me anyway, even with all these pieces on here still. Got that done. So I'm gonna try and take the wastegate off right now, which shouldn't be too hard. It's just one little mini V-band clamp. And then that should be good. I'm gonna fill out my timing belt card so we know when to replace it. Actually, we'll replace it whenever we want to, but yeah, it's all good. Getting there. All right, now that the timing belt is done, let's see if we can find the wastegate. What should I do here? Mess with a bunch of tiny screws on the hat or a couple screws on the wastegate? Whoa, all right, that's the wastegate. I've taken apart the wastegate, and this is what I got. The spring, I believe, is the 10-pound spring, so which leads me to believe that something isn't working. Because with a 10-pound spring, how do I have 18 pounds of boost? Well, I guess I can try to hook a vacuum line to it, see if I can vacuum 10 pounds and see if it'll open. But yeah, I'm ready to start the car for the first time to pull it out and park it so I can come back. And I think the next time I come out here, I'll drive the motorcycle and take the Volkswagen back with me to the house. Be interesting, be a little nerve-wracking, but I mean, it should be able to handle a 40-minute drive. I mean, if it doesn't, racing would definitely cause a problem. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I rode the test day or the track day. I did sessions of 20 minutes, so should be able to cruise, I think, right? That's it for now. Keep watching. This is the long list. Still a few things left. One of the things is the radiator fan shroud. Brendan's busy on his car for the race, so it's been tough to get time with him for that. I got to do the wiper wiring and switch. Be nice to have windshield wipers. If not, I have Rain-X on here. Then basic nut and bolt check here. When the car was up, when I was doing stuff with the wastegate, I noticed that the front right wheel was loose. Not sure what's going on there, so I have to check that. I have to mount a fire extinguisher pole. I have an idea for that. One of the things I'm going to try and do today is build a laptop mount and maybe something to hold the walkie. Figure out how we're going to mount the weights in the back. That shouldn't be that hard, but it'll take some time. And then fire nozzle on the charge pipe side, which I just found the nozzle. John Cooper had put it in the bin, so I found it. And look at this. We're already checking stuff off. I mean, this is amazing. So the wheel was loose. The nut was torqued by mi amigo as I stood on the brake. But yeah, wheel looseness is taken care of. The play is gone. So on the list, I think we have another thing to check off. We checked the front right wheel. And we also retorqued all the wheels, double check those. I'm gonna try and fab up a laptop mount. Never done this before. Got a little piece of aluminum here. It's called the nibbler. I'm gonna nibble right through all this. Oh, how am I gonna do the next bend though? I gotta go up with it. There is the base of the laptop stand. It's gonna go right on the seat rail. So let's go see if this works. I'm not sure why it's so wide, but I can definitely put that like that. I'm gonna try and do some riv nuts. Riv nuts have become my favorite tool. All right, since I can't fit a riv nut tool in here, I'm just gonna use this to hold this guy in place and tighten this down, and this should pull that riv nut closed. And there you go, got a riv nut right there. All right, we are in business. Let's get the laptop holder. Now we got a walkie holder and laptop holder. All right, so I'm almost there. Just one more couple things to do. You got the base, you got the laptop part, but I'm trying to get rid of this side-to-side motion. So I've got a bracket that I made. So it's going like that. So I got to go on the back side here. And if you notice, I don't know if you'll see it, this is going to squeeze on this side. There you go. And then you just pull this. Oh, it's already been pulled. And there you have a riv nut. So it kind of squeezes it there and there, but you can screw in a screw. So this whole thing will be like a quick release bracket. Go down here. This will go there. So it's on there's got a little bit of tension, but this will be nice. There's a little bracket, pretty solid. Still a little bit of play back and forth. What's nice is I got the laptop. I think I might have to go with a different screw in the back there because I'm getting hit there. Final install of the laptop holder. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, where's the nut? Oh, don't need any nuts. Look at this. I got a laptop mount, boys. Better take a photo of that. This is that's like a patrol car mount. Couple ratchet straps on top. Done. Check this off the list. Taking stuff off the list, dude. Within reach of my hand. I can start, stop, actually see what's going on the screen. This is good stuff. Good stuff. Just a couple of bungees around the bottom, around. It's one of my new favorite things about the car. All right, I'm gonna go for a ride. We are logging.